Hi, my sewing lovers. Welcome to my channel. My name is Johanna. If this is your first time clicking in, thank you so much. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Here we do everything fashion talks, sewing tutorials. If you're a fashion lover, if you're a sewing lover, here is the right place for you. So today, guys, I'll be doing a tutorial on how to draft a straight cut pant. So I'll be using the Winfred outreach method, but I'll be making it very simplified. So if you are very familiar with the Winfred outreach method, you will know it's very technical. But in this tutorial, I'll be making it very simplified and I'll be using inches instead of centimeters. I know you want to learn that. So stick around so that we can do that together. For this tutorial, I'll be using my tape measure, my calculator, my paper scissors, my markers, my tracing wheel, my rulers, that is my curved ruler and my straight ruler, and of course pattern paper. The first thing I did was to draw a perpendicular line which is going to serve as my waistline and my side line. Placing my ruler at 2 inches, that is my waistband length, I'll be placing my hip measurement, which is 8.5, and next I'll be placing my crouch depth, which is 12 inches. I mark 12 inches, placing my tape measure at 2 inches on my waistline. Don't forget, guys. Then placing my tape measure also at 2 inches, I mark 24 inches for my knee line. Then I connected those lines with a straight ruler. To get your crouch depth, you have to sit on the flat surface, then measure your waist to the flat surface and you get your crouch depth. You can also add 1 inch if you don't want your crouch to be very tight or very fitted. Placing my tape measure on 24 inches, which was my knee measurement, I'll be using 45 inches for my pant length. Guys, don't be economical with your pant length. You want your pants to flow. You want it to look gorgeous, to look elegant. You don't want it to hang on the hair. Do you want that? Well, I don't want that. I want mine to flow very nicely. That is why I use 45 inches. So when I'm also on heels, it also looks nice. Next, I'll be placing my hip measurement divided by 4. My hip measurement is 38. 38 divided by 4, which is 9.5. I'll be placing 9.5 inches on my waistline. Then I'll mark on my hip line. Then I would mark. And on my crouch line, then I would mark. Then I'll connect those dots with a straight ruler. Perfect. So from that short line we just drew, we're going to be placing our waist measurement divided by 4. My waist divided by 4, which is 28 divided by 4 is 7. Then I'll also add 1 inch for the dot. Then I'll be using the aid of my curved ruler to connect from the waist to the crouch line. Not from the waist to the hip, but to the crouch line. Please take note. Next, I'll be marking my thigh line, which is 2.5 inches from my crouch line. So I'll mark 2.5 inches from my crouch line. Then I'll connect those dots with a straight ruler. To determine my crotch extension, I would be measuring from the short line to the side line, which is 9.5. 9.5 divided by 6 will give me my crotch extension. 1.67, and you can round that figure up, which is going to give us 2 inches. At an angle of 45 degrees, measure 1 inch up. You can take a straight ruler and trace that 45 degree. Can you see that? And measure 1 inch up and draw a curve from that crotch extension to the center front. Nice. Next, we're going to go to the waist to form our dart. To form your dart, you look for the midpoint of your waist. Then you draw a straight line, and for the length I'll be using 5 inches. And for the width I'll be using 1 inch. So I'll be sharing it half an inch. Then I would draw a dart. You can also use a pleat in this case. So I'll be using a green marker to show you the way the pleat would be, like a forward pleat. So it depends on what you want. You can do a pleat, like a knife pleat kind of thing, or just like a pleat if you don't want to use a dart. So yeah, you can use a dart or a pleat. Next, I will mark in my midpoint on my crouch line, my thigh line, my knee line, and the hemline. Then I used my long ruler to give that a straight line. Perfect. So for the knee, you're going to measure around your knee and divide that measurement by 2. But for me, I want to use 22 inches. 22 inches divided by 2 will give us 11, and I would use that on my knee line and on my hemline because I want it to be like a straight cut pant, not fitted pant. It's just gonna be straight all the way from my thigh line to my hemline, but the thigh line will be a bit bigger. So for your thigh line, when you measure that will be about 12. So I made about 12. Then it's gonna be coming down straight. So that's how it's gonna be. Then guys, I want you guys to look at the video on how I place my curve ruler to give that curve line to my inseam line. So the seam between the trousers is called the inseam line. So you need to make sure your curve look nice. Then you're going to use your straight ruler to connect that. So don't use the curve all the way to the knee. No, it's going to be straight. Then the curve will be like midway. Next, I will be imputing all my seam allowance. For my side seam, I'll be using 2 centimeters, or you can use 1 inch. So I'll be using 1.5 centimeter on my center front and 1.5 centimeters for my inseam line. Then I'll connect that, making sure you use the curve. So while putting in your measurement, you need to make sure your ruler still gives that shape to the original pattern, like the way the original pattern is. And for the waistline, I would not cut the top part, and I'll be using 1.5 centimeter for the waist. Then for the hem allowance, I'll be using 2 inches. It's good to use wide hem allowance for pants like this, not 0.5. It looks very nice because it looks corporate, and if anything happens, you also have a lot of allowance to play with. So yeah, that's why it's good also. So guys, we are done drafting the front pant. How easy! The front pant is so easy. So right now I'm just labeling all my lines, my hem allowance, my knee line, my thigh line, my crouch line, my hip line, and my waistline, because the ones I labeled earlier was outside the line and I would cut it off. So guys, the front pant is done. If you watched this part, please write on the comment section front pant guys. I would love to see your comments. I would love to see your comment, and it will make my heart glad. It will make my heart glad, and I would sleep sound. Thank you so much guys. You guys are so good. Thank you so much for the love, the likes, and the comments. You guys are the real G's. So going to the back pants, I would be placing my front pants to a fresh pattern paper, and make sure you have enough space at the top part and at the crotch part. You have enough space because we're going to be extending the pattern. If you notice that your back and your front lower body is not the same, so you have more flesh, I would say, at the back of your body, so we're going to be extending that on our back pattern and also creating room for the butt to sit here. Right now I would be extending the lines on the fresh paper. Exactly, make sure that the front pattern is placed exactly on the lines. So you need to do this carefully. Put pattern weight so that it doesn't move. Right, just watch the video and you get it. The first thing I did was to extend my crouch by 2.5 inches. So you can do 2.5, 3.5, it depends on how big you are or how small you are, but from 36 to 38 hip, 2.5 is good. From 43 inches, 3.5 is good. Perfect. So you go to the waistline. So from the dot line to the center front line, not the seam allowance, you're gonna get the midpoint and mark. Can you see the way I did it in the video? That's how to get your midpoint. Then you mark it on the front, then you square it up to your back pattern. Good. Then you're going to measure from the pattern, not from the seam allowance. That is the front pattern, not from the seam allowance. So what I will do first is to connect that line. So that is our waistline. So I'll be marking 2 inches from our front waistline to the top of the back paper. So just mark 2 inches up. That is also our crouch extension for the back. Then also add 1.5 centimeter seam allowance for the waist. Next, for the angle or 45 degree, I'll be going up by 2 inches. Remember, for the front we went up by 1 inch, but for the back we're going to go up by 2 inches. Then you connect the crouch extension, the 45 degree, and the top waist. So it's not going to be straight. You don't have to get a straight curve. It's going to be slightly curved. Can you see that? Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. Slightly curved. Just watch the way I placed my ruler. Yes. And give it a nice curve. Perfect. That is our crouch curve for the back. That is how it's supposed to be. So I would measure my waist divided by 4, which is 7, plus 1, that is for that, then plus 1, which is for seam allowance. Then I would mark. But I want you to watch the way I placed my tape measure. I place it slant because from that center back line, it will be a slant waist. So it's going to be 9 inch, but to be like a slant waist. So waist divided by 4 plus 2 inch, 1 for that, 1 for seam allowance. Perfect. So now you got your waistline, your new waistline for the back. That is your new waistline for the back. And that is 9 inches for my measurement. So after I connected the lines, then I would place my front pattern nicely and I would trace the side seam. And do it all the way from the waist to the hem. Guys, when the pattern moves, make sure you align it to the line you marked on your fresh pattern paper. Make sure you align it with the front pattern. Good. I haven't done that, guys. You're going to add 1 inch to the inseam line, that is to the knee line, to the hem line, to your tie line. Gonna add to your knee line and your hem line and connect with a straight ruler. Then I would use my curve rule to get that nice curve for my pant. Once again, watch the way I place my ruler. I was supposed to use a straight ruler to do that part. You don't have to use the curve ruler to do all the way from the knee to the crotch. So you can use the straight ruler halfway, then use the curve ruler from the crotch halfway. Nice. So now I would be tracing and connecting those dotted lines with my rulers. I'll use my curve ruler from my waist to my crotch, then curve it down on my tie line. Then I will take my straight ruler and connect those dot lines with a straight ruler. Guys, this pant gave me a perfect fit. I already made the pants before I did this voiceover, and I promise you guys, the pants gave me very nice fit. You need to try this. I promise you, it's very, very nice. Very nice. It flowed very nice on my leg. It did not give me any crotch problem, or my side seam did not move to the front or something like that. No, it just went down and flowed down like a normal pant. Then I'll be taking my 2 centimeters, my 1 inch I mean, or 2.5 centimeters for my seam allowance. Remember, there was seam allowance when we traced the front, so that's why I'm doing this also. And I also added 1 inch from the waist down. You can also confirm by measuring your hip again. Then if it's not, then you can add your side seam allowance. Next, I'll be adding my seam allowance on my center back, on my inseam, Remember, I already added the seam allowance for the waist, so you don't need to add. Next, I'll be drawing in my darts, and to get my darts, I will be dividing my waist into 3 sections, and I would mark the 2 points, and I'll be having 2 darts at my back, which are of different lengths. One will be 6 inches and one will be 5 or 5.5, and there would be 0.5 inch wide. Perfect. So we have 2 darts at the back of the pant. It's so nice when you have 2 darts, and also you have a nice fit around your butt. So I'll just be drawing in my green line so that it can help me while I am cutting my fabric to put my pant on a straight green line. So guys, we are almost done with our back pants. I already added my seam allowance, my darts are done, just my annotations, that is my back pants cut 2 and also your front pants cut 2. And also your hem allowance, you're also going to add your hem allowance the way I added it at the front pattern. Then now we're ready to cut. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something from this video, please write in the comment section, I learned something, guys. Write in the comment section, I would be so happy. So if you want to go an extra mile and you want to add pockets, here is the time. So for my pockets, I would go about 1.5 inch wide for the width. I don't want it to be too opened. Sometimes when the pocket is too open, it's just opens while you're wearing it, so I like to play safe. I can do 2 inches or 1.5, but for this tutorial I did 1.5 and it worked well for me. The only thing I would change was the length of the pocket. I used 5, but my later project I would like to use 6 or 6.5. I think if you want to make something like this, please guys, use 6.5 or 6. You can create any shape of your pocket. You can create a curve shape, you can create a square shape, whatever, you can play with it, but I just like this shape because it's just straightforward and also very chic. So from that 1.5, I connected it to my length. Then I also added my seam allowance to the pocket. And also watch the video on how I created my pocket bag. You can create whatever length you want, but I use my tie line as a length for my pocket depth. Then I drew like a curve to meet that tie. You can make your own longer if you want or shorter if you want, depends on you. Then you have your pocket bag. At this point, you can trace it out and have your pocket pattern. So if you want more room to your pocket bag, you can add. So instead of starting from the dot line, you can start 2 inches away from the dot line and have a bigger pocket bag room. So right now I got a paper and put it on a fold, and the fold will be that line, the straight line. Then now you can trace it. You trace all the way. So I added seam allowance at the top part of the pattern and also cut it out from the hip side, guys, and also cut one part of the pocket shape, not the two patterns. Please just cut one part, because one part will join the slant pocket and one part will go to the hip. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you understand the pockets. If you don't understand, I'm in the comment section. Feel free to ask questions. And also the pant, you cut it from the seam allowance. Then you can also check it if it's fine. It's fitting so well. Can you see? It's gonna fit so well, and you can put your hand in and look at the room of the pocket bag. Nice. The only thing I would change is the length. So while doing yours, you can do 6, 7, or 6, depends on how big your hands are, but I think 6, 7 is fine. Then the last thing, guys, is to make a pattern for your waistband. To make a waistband is very simple. You can start by drawing the perpendicular line, that is the center front line, and the top line. So I want this waistband to be on the fold, so I'm going to insert the half of my waist measurement in this. But for the length, remember it was 2, but I want it to be on the fold, so I will be marking 4 inches and also adding my seam allowance, which is going to be 3 centimeters. Then I'll be marking that all through the pattern. Then I'll connect those dots with a straight ruler. Perfect. Next, from that center front line, I'll be measuring my waist divided by 2, which is 14, plus 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Good. So this is how my waistband is gonna be. So I'm gonna fold it into a 2. So I'm gonna fold it, then I can attach it to my pant. So guys, this is the end of the video. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. For any question you have, guys, I'm in the comment section. Please like, comment, subscribe and share my video. Thank you so much and goodbye from me.